In this lesson, we shall look at the range, the quartiles, and the interquartile range of a set of observations. The range, the quartiles, and the interquartile range are three useful metrics for summarizing the spread of a set of observations or a set of data. Let us start with the range. The range of a set of observations is basically the difference between the largest and the smallest of those observations. For illustration, let us consider this set of observations in dollars, right? To calculate the range of this set of observations, the first thing to do is to identify the smallest and the largest of these observations. And when we look in this set, of course, the smallest observation is $2, right? And the largest observation is $21. Therefore, the range is $21 minus $2. When we do that, we get $19. One thing to observe here is that the range has the same units as the observations themselves. What I mean by that is, if the observations are in dollars, the range would also be in dollars. And if the observations are in pounds, the range would also be in pounds. Let us now move to the quartiles. The quartiles are basically the numbers or the positions that divides our observations into 4 parts. This division is done in a specific way, in the sense that each of the 4 parts must have the same number of observations. To calculate the quartiles, we distinguish a number of scenarios. Let us start with the first scenario where we have 11 observations, right? If you count the number of numbers that we have in this set, you would find out that we have 11, right? We have 11 observations. To calculate the quartiles, we go through a couple of steps. The first step is to order the observations for the smallest to the highest. So basically the number that we have on this line are the same as the one that we have in the bracket here. The only difference is that on this line we have ordered the numbers from the smallest to the highest. After ordering the observations, the next thing to do is to identify the middle position. And this is our middle position. Middle in the sense that on the left hand side we have 5 observations, and on the right hand side we have 5 observations, right? After the middle observations, we now go to each side. On the left hand side here, we pick this subset and we identify the middle position of this subset. Our middle position here is $4 because on the left hand side we have 2 observations and on the right hand side we have 2 observations. We do something similar for this set of observations on the right. We have 5 observations and this is our middle position. Middle position in the sense that on the left we have 2 observations and on the right we have 2 observations. So basically we have identified 3 positions, and these 3 positions are what are called the quartiles. We have the lower quartile here, $4. We have the upper quartile, $14. And this middle point is what is usually referred to as the median. So this is the median of our observations. Let's now go to a second scenario where we have 12 observations, right? So instead of 11, we have 12 observations. First step is to order the observations from the lowest to the highest. Once we have ordered the observations, we go and look for the middle position. We have 12 observations in this scenario. So the middle position is in such a way that we have 6 observations on the left and 6 observations on the right. We now go to the left of the middle observations, right? And we identify the middle position again. We have the middle position, which is such that we have 3 observations on the left and 3 observations on the right. We go to this hand side and we identify the middle point. The middle point is such a way that we have 3 observations on the left and 3 observations on the right. So basically, these 3 vertical lines are the positions of our quartiles. To be more specific, the way we would calculate it is that we start with the lowest one. On each side, we have $4, right? Therefore, the lower quartile is $4. If we go to the upper quartile, on the left, we have $14, and on the right, we have $16. We add up 14 and 16, and we divide by 2 to get the middle position or the average, and we get $15, right? And for this middle position, we add 9 to 12, we get 21, and we divide by 2 to get our median, basically. So for this scenario 2, our lower quartile is $4. Our upper quartile is $15, and our middle or our median is $10.5. Finally, let us close with interquartile range. Basically, the interquartile range is simply the difference between the upper and the lower quartiles. To be more specific, let us consider scenario 1, the observations that we have here. To calculate the interquartile range for these observations, what we would do is to take the upper quartile, which is $14, right, minus the lower quartile, which is $4. And when we do that, we get $10, right? Similarly, if we go to scenario 2 here, our interquartile range would simply be $15 minus $4, and we get $11. Again, the interquartile range has the same unit as the observations themselves, which means basically that if the observations are in dollars, the interquartile range would be in dollars. If the observations are in centimeters, the interquartile range would also be in centimeters.